Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the June 16, 2015 Planning Board meeting, Village of New Paltz. It's now 7:08, and I would like to call the meeting to order. My name is Maurice Whiteman. I'm the chair. The members present this evening are John Litton, Michael Zerler, and Rich Steffens. Liz Harshaw is excused from this evening's meeting. George Rodenhausen is our attorney. Brogan Rose O'Donnell is our secretary. And sitting over there is the municipal planner for the Village of New Paltz, David Gilmore, not to be confused with a certain guitarist. All right. Tom Rocco is our village board liaison. And here's our agenda, for those who haven't seen it. We have a public hearing for a subdivision on 34 Mill Rock. It is our number PB 1506. The applicants are Mr. Spool and Mr. Lester. And after that, we will have two application reviews for completeness. One is a new one-family house, single-family house on Elting Street, and the other is a modification to an existing home on 74 Church Street. And then we have some administrative stuff to do. So, the first is public hearing. May I have a motion to open the public hearing, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Michael. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody like to speak to this application, which is the, should we explain more about this? We have, it's a subdivision, it's called a subdivision. There are 3 lots. The outer lots, they are contiguous. The outer lots are owned by the individuals, Mr. Spool and Mr. Lester. The middle lot is owned jointly by them, and they wish to they wish to cut the middle lot in half and make their lots larger for each of those. So still retaining the same ownership, but individually. Did that summarize it adequately?
Thank you much.
So we have a public hearing to discuss this subdivision. Anybody would like to speak to this application? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Alan Roth. I'm from the Subdivision community, as Richie knows. Thank you, Richie. I've received a notice about the public hearing, and I basically came down tonight because what the paper that was sent out by the committee board really didn't explain exactly what's going on. I think you just explained more. I met with Brogan before the meeting, and she was incredibly helpful. But in terms of what exactly this, I guess, what would you call it, petition?
It's an application for a subdivision, yes.
And that's all well and good. My concern is, and I think most people who are homeowner-occupied homeowners in the community, is what the potential is down the road for increasing the size of 2 properties that both already have homes on them and are substantially large. Is the intent to ultimately expand the homes? And if so, if you could explain that next step in the process, if that's what it is, are these going to be no longer homeowner-occupied houses? I think that's really a concern that all of us from neighbors here would like to hear more about.
Okay, thank you. The purpose of a public hearing is to hear testimony from members of the public about the application. We really don't answer questions about it, but I'll be happy to do that at some point. From our perspective, George, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not a question of how they will use the property. Okay. My impression is that there is no change that is that the change will not result in any additional benefit to them. They can make the houses bigger, I suppose.
They could.
Because they'll have more of a lot, but we can't, whatever the code allows, they will be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I assume if I may, there's an expansion of any home at any point that they would have to once again
yeah.
file an application with the board.
Yeah.
And there'd be another.
It'd have to come to the building department, and assuming Our code still stays the same, where we have to review it all, they will have to come back here again. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Okay.
Clarify that.
Any other public comments about the application? Okay, hearing none. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Closed.
John. So moved.
Bang, bang. Okay, Mr. Litton. Second? Thank you, Rich. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so, Mr. Rodenhouse, yes?
Secret.
Yes. So we have the short EAF, did we?
Yes.
And that came separately, right?
I actually did not print you all out physical copies of that.
Okay.
Didn't print it out to everyone, but I have it.
We have one? Okay. Okay. So this process is to determine whether this application will result in any environmental impacts. And it's called the SECRA. Okay, so the questions that we will ask are, just want to make sure this is all filled out right. Okay, so I start here, number 5?
No, actually next page.
Right, okay. So will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? No. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of the land? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of the critical environmental area? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? No. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation, renewable energy opportunities? No. Will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies, wastewater treatment utilities? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, and aesthetic resources? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, such as wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air control, flora, and fauna? No. Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? No. Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? No. So, it appears that we have, or I will assert, that we have determined that based on information analysis above and any supporting documentation, the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. May I have a motion to accept that?
Moved.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Michael. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, take me 1 minute to fill some of this out. Right?
Yes.
Okay. May I give this to the voter, please? Thank you. We have a resolution.
Good.
Thank you.
Michael pointed out that typo, so it comes out.
Okay. I'm not going to read it anyhow.
No.
Okay. So I have a resolution. I will move this resolution of subdivision approval for Rogers School, David Lester lot line alteration, planning board application PB 1506. Now therefore, it's hereby resolved by the Village of New Paltz Planning Board that 1, pursuant to section 178-23B, the following required elements of an application are waived: location of existing proposed sewers, water drains, stormwater facilities, location, width, and grade of proposed roads, area of land to be set aside for recreation and public purposes, proposed provision of utilities, the location, dimensions, and status of proposed deed restrictions or easements, and engineer certification of adequacy of utilities. And 2, the application of Roger Spool and David Lester for subdivision approval for a lot line alteration at 34 Mill Rock Road as shown on 2 subdivision plats dated October 30, 2013, prepared by W.E. James, PEPLS, those are 2 different words, sorry, is hereby approved, and the planning board chairman is hereby authorized and directed to sign the approved final subdivision plat. May I have a second? Oh, that's it, yeah, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, John. And all in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I should have asked for any discussion. Is there anything else that we need to say about that? Okay.
Okay, good. Take the one. 2.
Oh, that's right, there were 2
It's only one, it's only one
Right.
plat. The 2 drawings.
Okay, shall I read this again?
No, it's basically just
Okay,
Mike.
okay. So, now, all in favor?
We did, you disapproved.
I didn't do it.
Aye.
Thank you. It's only we on the front do it.
I just want to make sure we have the final subdivision plat in the building department, which is complete.
Yes, you said that we do, right?
Yeah, I have a copy of it. if you
Okay.
don't see
And
it.
do you have a stamp for the chairman's
Yeah.
signature?
It's not the right one, though. The one that I remember was square.
Yeah.
The one that we, or the other way around, I forgot. But
Yeah, we tried it and it was the wrong stamp. So you just sharpened it on it.
yeah, so we have to get a stamp.
Should be a stamp. It's just
We'll
important
order the
that
stamp.
the date of approval, which is tonight, be on the plat.
So
that
would
when
we
you
just
take it to
sign
the-
this?
Are you taking it to the clerk? Yeah, when you take it to the building, or to the county clerk for filing, it has to be within 62 days of the
That's
actual
what Rich
approval.
did, yeah.
So I can just make sure it's stamped and signed as of tonight.
And we have to fill in
Okay.
copies too?
Well, they have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do they know?
So, so you're gonna go to the county? I
No,
assume?
wait, we have to, we have to have a certain number of copies, some of which have to be vellum so that the county will accept it, is that correct?
Well, the applicant will take the vellum copies to the county and file it.
But I have to
And
sign
then
it
give them-
first, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
you
So-
have to sign the original.
okay.
Only one copy to sign?
County needs one vellum and one paper.
One vellum and one, they want the vellum signed also.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, there you go, two, you're right.
Right, so
All right.
we have to have those for them to take to the county.
Okay,
Check with you,
good,
get
okay.
it straightened out, what has to be filed where and how, everything else. If there's any extra copies of the surveys, you guys need to
I'll pick them up.
I'll pick them up.
You give that as a
I did. Okay, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, concerned neighbors. Okay. Okay, next. Next application is a application for review for completeness. And it's a site plan to create a single-family house on a lot at 56 Elting Avenue. You may notice out of the corner of your eye that one of the board members is leaving that side of the table and going there. So this application is for a home that's going to be built by the owner, Rich Steffens, who until 30 seconds ago was in the planning board member. So, Mr. Steffens. Yes. I recognize you. Okay, so you submitted some drawings and the application. And we have a letter from our attorney. And we don't have that.
Letter for the building department, too.
Yeah, I'm looking for that. Logan, do you have a copy of the letter from, of Mark's determination?
Copy of
Thanks,
it?
okay.
Oh.
I'm good. Okay, so we have a notice of determination from Code Enforcement Officer Mark Jaffe. And our attorney wrote in his meeting memo to us. Would you like to summarize this for us?
Summary is simply that, as Mark found, everything is in compliance with the zoning. The application for subdivision has a lot of requirements, or site plan, in this case, site plan, many requirements, many of which don't seem to apply to a single-family residence or any residence. And so I've listed the ones that are required and the ones that Rich Stephens has provided and which is not provided. My recommendation is all those that are not provided be waived because they're not actually relevant to this application. Other than that, it seems to be a complete application that's ready for public hearing.
Okay. May I just explain to anybody interested that the reason why some of these are not applicable or why they're in the code and they're not applicable is because the code was changed to include our site plan, the requirement for a planning board site plan review for single and two-family homes in our village. But not all of the code was changed to accommodate that. So site plan requirements are not explicitly described in the code, but we know what is applicable towards a single-family house, so that's what we did, and we will waive those that are not. Is that right, George? Are we
Yes.
waiving them? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the final resolution, as we just did with the other subdivision, we can include a paragraph waiving.
Right.
And then we do have to refer this to the county. It's a site plan.
Does that throw the county?
Yeah.
Yes, I calculated it's within 500 feet
Okay.
of the county road. Route 208.
Yeah.
Across the block.
See, if you were to move to Tricor, you wouldn't have this.
I would have made it.
I know. But you gotta be Mr. Fancy Pants.
So that can take a month.
It can take more than
Take more than a month, you're right.
Yeah, because we've got, today being the 16th, so they'll have it in time for the July meeting. So we'll get it, we should get it back here by the middle of July meeting, but we're not sure. Sometimes they don't work that fast. But it should, so. Okay. Any board members have any questions or comments about the application?
The only question I had actually was about the proposed driveway, which you have curving from one side of in front of the house to the other. Is there an existing driveway there?
No, it's actually for two reasons, Michael. One of the things that the public hearings that brought up during the subdivision process
Yeah.
was drainage.
Okay.
So part of the reason for the curve in that driveway is to not create a straight run down the hill to the road.
Okay.
So that was part of it. This was the discussions I had with Rich Root, Blue Twillinger, and Dave Klauser.
Okay.
Blue and Rich Root were absolutely insistent I do not tie anything into the storm drains that are out front.
Right.
That I handle all the storm on site. So that was the reason to curve it across the front.
Okay.
This way water coming down the driveway has a big landing area on site
All right.
and minimal amount of cut to the road.
All right. Thanks.
Mr. Litton?
It was, I'm sorry, it was also one of the reasons that
Yeah, you said.
there was a change in the style of the house. The house went through originally had been a 52-foot design. When I originally tried to get it to discuss this house, it was 52 feet deep. It's
Okay.
now changed to be a little bit wider
quite as deep.
and only 36 feet deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't bring a copy of the drawing with me, and I can't
Right here.
find it on here. Yes, thank you.
Oh, so.
You want to share?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't have to pay you, right?
in that case, I won't know.
Is this Rich, is this the plot plan?
That's the new site plan, yes. Yep.
Did you do a coverage calculation?
Yes. I did it with,
It's 2.1.
the total on the garage, might be just one of my glasses. Garage is 440 square feet, the house is 1580, which gives us 20 square feet in terms of buildings. Now remember, the house is 2 stories, that's not square footage, floor area, that's lot coverage.
Footprint.
Footprint. Now, again, this is the lot that's got 2 different sizes to it. One is the size that the deed says it is, the other is the size that's set back from the road.
Goes out to the street.
Right. So the smaller of the 2 numbers is 9667. So we've got plenty. The lot is 4 times bigger than the footprint.
Okay. And do
More than 4 times
Did
bigger.
you include the driveway in that calculation?
Driveway's all going to be stone.
Oh, okay. So the driveway is pervious, so that's not counted. So the coverage limit, which is 30%, you wouldn't get close to, you'd be somewhere around 25%?
Around 20%.
20%, okay. The only thing is sometimes, well, on commercial properties, site plans only show what the bulk requirements are and then what the actual is. So it's easy to see that everything's in compliance. And this is single-family residences. I don't know if the board wants to go through all that documentation. As long as it knows that they are in compliance, as Mark said.
Yeah, we based it on the lot that's not under the road.
That's not what?
Under the road.
I see.
The smaller of the 2 lot definitions.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Mr. Litton, do you have any questions of Mr. Zerler?
No, that's all I have, thanks.
Mr. Gilmore? Anything?
No other comments
Okay.
unless you have any questions.
Okay. No, I'm fine. So, based on Mr. Jaffe's, so we have everything we need, is what you're saying, George?
Yeah.
Looks that way. Okay. Then may I have a motion to determine the application to be complete and referred to the county for GML 239-M review
And set the site plan.
and set the public hearing?
It's a public hearing, I think for the middle of July.
Yeah, I don't want to push, it's just that I got an 8-week lead time on these modular units. So I'd like to know that the light at the end of the tunnel was the sun and not a train coming at me.
So,
Can't get the county response till the day after our July meeting, right? Unless it's different because of the holidays.
we can't get the county response. Oh, you mean to the, for the early July meeting, for the
Right.
July? Well,
This
it's,
is always the day after.
no, our meeting is, yeah, their meeting is after hours.
Right.
It's one day after hours, but in July, their meeting is July 1st,
Oh.
And
I
then,
believe. Let me see if that's.
I might as well ask the question, and that is that this type of site plan, a residential site plan, is sent for county referral. I might pose the question because there is the Ulster County Referral Guide and their standards, including a process where you might establish what doesn't get referred to Ulster County.
Right, so there is an MOU that we have with
So
them.
they have a submittal reference matrix, which is the result of what you just said. So the only problem we have is that they don't really address single-family residences anywhere. They didn't know about this. I think Village of New Paltz is the cutting edge on that issue.
Yeah.
We can put it that
So-
way.
And then what's in the MOU?
So all this does is list the exemptions to referral, so
Okay,
it doesn't
so
show
just
up.
checking if there was
Yeah.
already that, in essence, agreement with county planning board.
Now,
that
the
there
other
would
thing
be a
is,
referral.
If it's outside 500 feet,
Yeah,
there's a couple
outside.
more
Yes, it's
being
referred to
things we could have used,
500-foot
like,
radius.
you sure you
Not
don't want to go on
disturbance.
tricord? Okay.
it's within 500 feet is the problem, because there's almost no exemptions. There's only 4 exemptions.
So we'd have to formally file a request Do
We
we
could-
have that ability?
We could enter into discussions with the county to try to include additional single-family residences.
But we can't do that.
But that'd be
Not
after the fact.
in-
No,
In the referral guide, there's standards for like minor subdivisions and certain types, and you can pick and choose, and then propose to them what you send versus what you don't in this
Right,
sort
so
of.
that's the basis of this.
Yes.
And since it doesn't fall in this, we have to refer it. I would bet anything they'll come back and say no county impact. But we have to wait for that.
Yeah.
And we have to wait for it in writing, unfortunately. So, we shall, Mr. Secretary. Yeah. Okay, so the motion is to determine that the application is complete, to refer it to Ulster County Planning Board, and to set a public hearing for, I'm sorry,
Could be the first week then, this July 1st.
July 1st is a Wednesday, so our first meeting is the 8th. But if you're thinking we're gonna have it back here by the end of that week, it's possible.
Yeah, they usually get it off the next day if
Yeah,
they,
All right, so
usually
if
on
not, we can just
Friday.
continue the public hearing at that point.
if they have to.
Yeah. Okay, so the third thing is to,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Gilmore,
you said the first meeting is the 8th, but aren't we talking about?
It's the 7th.
The 7th?
I just wanted to see if you're paying attention, dude. Thank you for that. Okay, so, Mr. Rocco, you don't get any points tonight. He beat you to it.
I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so, the end of my motion, the third item is to schedule a public hearing for our first meeting in July, which is July 7, 2015. Anybody wish to second that motion? Oh, first make the motion, please.
Okay, what is this, the motion again?
The motion again, this is the fourth time, this is the last time, okay?
What-
Ready? Pay attention now. So the motion is to determine the application is complete,
Got it?
to send the application to Ulster County Planning Board,
Got it.
and to schedule a public hearing for Tuesday, July 7, 2015.
So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I don't think so. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stephens. You may join us
Do you need that copy of the
for that,
floor plan?
of this. I don't need anything. You want this too?
No, that's the next that's our next application. That's it.
No, just- I mean, I'm handing stuff out. so. Okay. You come home now, please.
I'm coming home.
And there was a notice of determination for our next application.
Yep.
Do we have that?
No.
No, for,
Yeah.
is it Grove, or is it Church Street? I think. Brogan, do you have,
1511?
You guys should have it.
Yeah, 1511, right here. 24 Church Street.
It was handed out to you.
I'm back.
Gotcha.
thanks for coming back. Okay, so we don't need Rich.
Do you have the determination of it?
Okay, so this application,
From Mark?
Mr. Woodburn, that must be you. Come on up, sir.
Hey. How are you?
Moving on the form last couple days.
Tell us what you're gonna do, Mr. Woodburn.
We're adding planning to add a 12 by 20
Hi.
mudroom / second bathroom addition.
Right. And there's a floor plan, I mean, a site plan thing, or a lot. We have that?
There's a site plan,
Yes, okay.
Did we get the site plan in the PDF?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
This one we got.
Yep.
Okay.
It was handed out at the last planning
I
board
got it.
meeting, hard copies. So maybe those were the
Okay, I'll take another look at it. I've seen it once before, but I...
Okay, so,
Here's an extra.
any board members have any comments or questions of the applicant? Mr. List? Okay, so, let me find, did you have the, notice of determination from the president?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Code Enforcement Officer Jaffe wrote that he reviewed the 240 square foot addition, and it's a one-story mudroom, bathroom, laundry room, meets all setback requirements for R3. Code requires the project needs site plan approval, and no more bedrooms. You don't have to worry about many of the site plan. Okay. And Mr. Rodenhausen, would you please tell us what your...
Well, my review was the same as with Mr. Steffens, in that the EAF was complete, the application was complete. Again, it's within 500 feet of a county road, state road, 32.
Yeah.
So this has to be referred to the county, probably in the same timetable we just had. But I couldn't find any reason not to schedule a public hearing.
Okay. Mr. Gilmore, we spoke briefly about driveways and access, and I'm not even sure. Could you explain briefly what the question you had was?
I don't think I have a question. My comment would be that this, I would recommend is a minor subdivision, and, you know, it's an addition to a residential property.
Minor
So,
subdivision?
excuse me, a minor site plan, excuse me. It is my recommendation for some threshold cases, and I'm not necessarily saying this case, but that on a road like Henry W. Du Bois, which is a fairly busy street within the community, it can be desirable to have access management in the corridor. So in an example like this with a corner lot, and forgive me, I don't know the name of the street that accesses
Church.
Church,
Yeah.
thank you. So that's the other remainder of Church. That it could be advantageous to think about putting the driveway on Church, such as if we had a more major redevelopment, in order to achieve access management, because I don't think we want to prescribe backing out on streets like Henry W. Du Bois and other thoroughfares, but that's not my recommendation with this case.
Right.
Unless the applicant would want to do that for some reason.
That is a sort of phase 2 plan with this project, and I'm new to this process. Would we have to go before the planning board to change where the driveways? There's already a cutout there. It's just not paved. or
There's a
gravelled.
curb cut, you're saying?
There's no sidewalks. There's a
Yeah,
curb
there are
cut.
curbs there.
Yeah,
Right.
Church Street?
Yeah.
on that section of Church Street.
Okay, so this is the northeast corner.
Don't you enter into your parking area from Henry Du Bois?
We do.
Oh, okay.
But because this will be a mudroom, you know, the idea is to, you know, maybe next year put a parking area off Church with our entry coming in
Right.
on this new north side.
And then remove
Yeah.
the one on Henry Du Bois?
Yeah, or just leave it there for overflow or, you know,
Yeah,
something like
but
that.
not, it would be your general use.
Exactly.
Would they have to come back for that kind of?
We don't have any exemptions at this point.
Oh, okay.
This, if you get approval, this will be your approved site plan, so any change to it will require that you come back.
But if they put that on the plan now,
Then you
then
don't
we
come
could
back.
consider approving it
Right, you
for
could.
that, and then you can do it
Right.
within, what, a year, or come back and say that you're.
But if you put it on the site plan now, it could hold up a CO on the work, but,
Yeah.
Mhm.
How's that?
because they would have to complete the whole plan.
So do you label it as
Am I right?
reserved driveway, or
Well, that's true.
Oh, is that true? You can't phase it, something like
Well,
this?
could you stipulate it?
if it's complicated, you could phase it, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, yeah. Then what we require is to, normally phasing is either very elaborate mapping or else you put it in two maps. One showing before, one showing this, and then one showing this with the new driveway. The resolution would stipulate that the second map is only going to be implemented a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever.
It might be easier just to come back.
Yeah,
I think it's easier to come
I think
back.
I'll wait.
I think so.
One of the things that is missing from the site plan is you gotta put the water and sewer lines in.
Okay. That's not on there?
You also don't show the setbacks from what I can see. I'm sure you
Isn't
know.
No, there is.
I have a survey.
No, there's setback lines right
That's
there.
what the dash lines.
Well, that's pre-existing house.
You still gotta show the setbacks.
Yeah, but it is.
That's what the dash lines
The
are.
dash line is the
Yeah.
setback lines.
You mean the distance? This says
You mean
20,
actually put
35
the-
foot.
Put
Distance
this,
from the
put this
actual
number
house.
in.
Yeah, it's showing the
That's
setbacks.
what you mean.
That's what I thought, but,
Okay. No, I understand what you mean. Sorry.
So what we're doing is
One of the
we're
lots,
not,
he's got two front yards.
I have a survey. I don't know. Did I give you a survey or no?
Well, it's an engineering drawing, it's a survey,
Yeah, the Dipples is,
John Dipple, 2004. You'll need
oh,
a,
it says it's as described.
yeah, here, it says line work.
Well, I mean,
But
yeah,
it's good enough under our code for site plan.
it says
We don't have to have a surveyor
25-foot front
or
yard.
engineer sign a site plan.
So that means this is 25 feet. Right.
well, which means the house is encroaching in the 25-foot setback.
Yes.
But the house.
Which is pre-existing,
but
which
the
is
house-
fine. It's just you gotta put the number in.
Oh, what is the actual number
You
here?
should have the number there.
How far is it?
Where the actual house is as opposed to where the setback line is?
Yeah.
Oh, the difference.
It'd be like if you had a shed that was hanging over the lines,
Which they
right?
do.
No, I'm just saying, you have to show the lines.
So,
You could
okay.
scale it, I
That's-
suppose. I know it's hard to go out and measure that because that line's not there.
This is also
On the front lawn.
R3. Is that the setback in R3?
I don't know, it seems big, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure the setbacks on that?
It's mixed. What's R3?
It's
Mixed.
the most.
12 to the acre.
It's the most dense of
Right.
the residential
Right.
zones. Yeah, 25-foot setback seems big. for-
It seems,
So R3, let's see, front yard.
25.
25, 12 and a half, 25. And you got
surprised.
So what's 12 and a half sides?
Sidelines.
sides.
Oh,
You get 25 all around.
Yeah,
Well,
because it's
it
a
doesn't
corner
have a
lot.
side. Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
a
So you
side.
got two fronts.
There
Yeah,
should be
two
two fronts
fronts,
and
'cause it's a-
two sides or two backs.
Yeah.
Well, he's got, this shows as two rear.
So you treat it as two fronts and two backs,
Right,
That's
which is
right.
what it
which
is.
is fine.
So it is the big ones. Okay.
I don't think you have to put that setback,
No?
that distance on there since it's existing, there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay.
Okay, so,
So all that means it's okay.
may I have a motion to determine that this is a complete application?
And
And we're going to send this to,
Send it to
oh,
Karen.
right. So it's the same motion as I said before. You know, we need to repeat the fifth time?
No, do you want me to just go ahead and do it
yeah,
already?
what about?
Okay, so we have a motion to determine the application is complete, to send this to Ulster County Planning Board for 239M review, and to schedule a public hearing for July 7, 2015. Did I do that right?
I did.
May I have a second to that? A motion, please. That's what I wanted.
So moved.
Thank you, Rich. Second?
Second.
Thank you, John. Any discussion? Yes, Mr. Zero?
The water and sewer line issue we can handle after the public hearing? Haven't put them on this map for the public hearing?
we should have the map as, oh, yes, we can.
I mean, again, we know he's hooked up to water and sewer, he
It's
understands we're
better to have
living
it
there.
for the public
but-
hearing, but it's not critical. It can always be a condition of approval. The thing is, if there's no opposition, we could approve it the same night, if it's on the map. If it's not, we have to have a condition of approval and do it later. So it's better to have it done before the hearing.
Okay. So I'll just have the
Yeah.
architect put it on there before
Yeah.
public hearing?
Get another map back to the board
Yep.
as early as possible.
Okay.
Well, should that version be sent to the county?
In a way, yes.
It's not gonna have
It-
any
it's-
impact on their
They're gonna say
decision.
no concern, no matter what.
Yeah,
I don't think it matters.
you should see, I shouldn't say this on.
Okay.
We're being recorded here.
Okay.
And just so I'm clear, that needs to be added to the site plan,
Yeah.
the water sewer lines, okay.
Mr. Stephens is asking. Good point.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Aye. Opposed? There's nobody left, right?
Pretty much it.
Motion carries, thank you very much. So you will meet with Brogan, and she'll tell you how to do the public notice
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
And is there anything else he needs to see you about? Brogan? I think we're all done, right?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
And the public hearing is set for what date?
July 7,
Okay.
same place, same time.
Okay.
There is a chance that the county will not deliver their no county impact
Yep.
ruling on time.
Okay.
And we may have to continue the public hearing for 2 weeks hence.
Okay.
But you'll have to come anyhow, and
Okay.
I guess you won't have to come, but anyhow, we should know a date before
Got
from
it.
them, that'll be okay.
Can I just ask, as far as the escrow we opened, I mean,
Yes.
what are those funds gonna be used for, if anything?
They're gonna be used for our attorney's
Okay.
time spent on your application.
Okay.
Both here and whatever you have to do in his office.
Okay.
You also have some posting things to see, Brogan.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk to you tomorrow about that, or tonight?
Yeah, or you can shoot me an email.
Okay.
I think you have it. Oh,
Okay,
yeah. we
I've got
exchanged
it.
emails, Yeah.
Great. All right.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Whose is this? Is this his house?
Yeah, give me that.
Oh, that was a slight revision, so
Oh,
this one.
that's a revision.
That's part of the-
Okay, remaining on the agenda is approval of our minutes from the June 2nd, no, it's not June 2nd, is it? I'm sorry. Yes, it is, the June 2nd, 2015 regular meeting. May I have a motion to accept the draft minutes?
So moved?
And is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion, any comments or corrections? Hearing none, I will ask for aye votes, please.
Aye.
Aye.
It's pretty good, 4 ayes, okay, 1 aye. And Ms. Horschel is not here, she can't say.
Nope.
Okay, motion carries. Minutes are approved. Mr. Rodenhouse, Mr. Rocco, I remember, you, because you were so quiet, I forgot your name for a minute.
Just how Joe.
Michael?
Yep.
I was going to ask the board to approve, it's something like a renewal engagement letter for Mr. Rodenhausen's firm. But I remember that we spoke about an increase in the amount of the retainer. Do you remember what that, did anything happen with that?
No. I do not.
You don't remember?
No.
That's clear.
I searched for a second my recollections and no, I don't.
Okay.
Is is the budget online somewhere?
The budget has been approved. I have to assume, since I've used only the paper copy, but I have to assume that it's online, or it shall be online soon. Rogan, do you know?
I don't know.
I think it is. And I should know where, but I don't.
Yeah, we all should know. Should be easy to find from the webpage, but I will bet anything that it's not easy to find. I don't know.
Might not have what you're looking for that.
Level of detail.
That level of detail there.
Yeah.
I'd just say personnel.
Okay. I was told it was approved by the board, but I don't know how far it got past that. I don't know what would be the process past that?
Well, past that, it's an approved budget. The board approves the budget. And it is the budget for the year. It gets posted, and we have to start using money on day one. That's one of the reasons for the reorg meeting as early as it is.
Okay, give me a moment, please. All I see on, adopted budget, 2014 to 2015. That would be
That would be this past year into
not
this.
very helpful. I
Haha.
have tentative budget.
Yeah, that's what I found too.
That's on trustees.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be the.
It's right on the homepage if you
That would
scroll
be the
down.
final approved.
Right. Okay. So I ask this because our agreement with our attorney lasts for the fiscal year which has ended. And we have an engagement letter which is the same as it was last year. And I was told that the village board approved an increase to the retainer amount. We have been spending, and I'm sorry that I don't remember what the amount was that we spent across the other lines. And after our budget amount was reduced significantly by Mayor West, he said, don't worry about it. If you go over your allotment of whatever it was, $162.50 a year a month, we would find other lines to pay with. Everything would be all right. And we've been doing that, and that's been fine. But we were, George, you told me that you were over the retainer amount a couple of times anyhow. But
Okay.
So one of the village board members told me that it was increased to 6,000 from 4,000 a year. But I don't have any hard evidence of that.
Is it not on the, Rogan, is it on the tentative budget?
I'm looking through it now, trying to find it.
Is this a new student, or is this a new
It's the.
It's the same one moving across the street.
park and ride tire service?
Yeah, it's the vacant side.
So I have,
The only mention of planning board that I see in the tentative budget is planning board fees.
oh no, I see our line A8020, and it has contractual expenses. What we used was 9,730, and now what's budgeted is 10,630. So it seems like We got,
But that
Another
includes you
1,000?
perhaps?
no,
No, she's
it
not
includes,
contractual. She's
it would be
personnel.
the attorney plus the videographer. Those are the only
I see.
contractors. And when we use Dave Clauser.
That's right, it came out of the same place. No, Clauser,
Oh, yeah,
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 Clauser
yeah.
is all out of escrow.
You know,
That's
close.
true.
Just escrow.
So, yeah.
You can always amend the contract if you want to do it.
Okay, so
I
let's-
just feel like I need an engagement to continue working.
Yeah, so I would like authorization to sign the engagement letter to provide legal services to us from George's firm, which is identical to the provisions from last year, right? So if you will believe me that that's the case, I would like to,
So moved.
thank you,
Second?
thank you. Further discussion?
Yes, very much.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye, aye,
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Oh, can we spend money? Like, are we authorized to do?
well, if there's a budget for it, we can do it.
Sounds like there's something budget that might go on.
And we could just try to find the approved budget,
Yeah.
and Karen will corroborate that with the.
But what we
tenant.
need is the detail.
The easiest thing is
Nancy would have
from
it.
Yeah,
the,
Nancy does.
from the treasurer, get the final worksheets, because she individually marks each worksheet as approved by the final budget, and she keeps a notebook of those.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so that'll have the actual amount for each specific item. It'll say attorney, it'll say
Right,
secretary,
like how I
trainee,
filled out
et
the
cetera.
budgets.
Right, and she'll mark up if there were changes, she'll strike through and write the final amount.
Okay, I have one more favor to ask, and that is the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, all in favor?
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry, any further discussion?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
yeah, you always do that.
Yeah, I know, I did, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Thank you, everybody.